Bismillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Camila, and today I'll be walking you through paper 2 of the IGCSE ICT May-June 2021 exam. Alright, so I have the question paper here, and I'll be doing the data production part. Okay, so it tells me that I've been supplied with all of these files, right, which I've got right here. So task 1 is to do with the evidence document. This is typically the first task you'll get with any paper 2 paper because the evidence document is extremely important. This is how my examiner will know that I have completed all of the tasks. Right, so let's open this up, and it says to make sure that my name, center number, and candidate number appears on every page of this document. So easiest way for me to do that is to place it in the header. Right, so my name is Camila, and since this isn't a real exam, I do not have a center number or candidate number, so I'll just put this, and then we can close header and footer over here. Right. Next, it says to save this in my work area, followed by my candidate number. Right. Okay. So, I've actually already sorted all of my files because that's just how I prefer to work. It's much easier for me like that. I save them, under paper 2 and then which task I'm doing. So this is under the work itself because I practiced this paper earlier just to make sure that I know what I'm doing, and I'll save it under the answers. So my candidate number, which I wrote there earlier, was at 1234, and I'll save it as a Word document because that is the file type that I am using. Right. Okay, we've saved it. And now here's on to like the real part. It says I'm going to edit a review document, and a corporate house style must be used. Right, so here are the instructions. First of all, I'm meant to open up this file and set the top, bottom, left, and right margins to 2 centimeters. So J212 multi, let's open that up. Okay, so margin, right? Easiest way to do that is to go to layout, and you can click here, or I prefer to click here because then I can see everything. So it says bottom, right, top, and left, right? So 2 centimeters. If yours is not set to 2 centimeters, sometimes it's set to inches. I'd recommend to change that so that you don't make a mistake. And yeah, just make sure everything's all right, and that's all. Next up, it says the page is set to portrait. Do not make changes, right? And do not make changes to any of this. So this is all just information. Next up, it says take a screenshot to show the margin setting. So it wants proof, right, that I have done it. So let's go back to layout and back to here. And as you can see here, I have all of these 2 centimeters, and I'm just going to go ahead and screenshot. Personally, I prefer to just screenshot like exactly what I'm supposed to do instead of the whole page because it's much easier for my examiner to clearly see what I've done. So that's just, that's that, and it's also proof that I didn't make any changes to the portrait or anything like that. Okay, next up it says to save the document in my work area in the format of the software I am using. Okay, so remember how earlier I saved it as a Word document, my evidence file. I'm going to do the exact same thing here. Save as my, I think it was this file, yes? Yep. And save it as a Word document. And does it say to change the name? Yes, it does. MS Review. So do not change like capital letter or small letter, just to be safe. Make sure that everything's fine. Okay. Evidence number 2. Place in your evidence document a screenshot to show that the file has been saved. Make sure there is evidence of the file type. So they want to know that I have saved it like how I'm supposed to. So I prefer to, make sure that you can see the whole thing, or well, I guess actually you should be doing that just so that it's proof instead of the examiner just seeing Microsoft Word. They can see Microsoft Word document. Okay, let's close that, and my evidence file is right here. Evidence 2, there we go. Place in the header, created by, followed by a space, and your name, center number, candidate number, left aligned. Right. Okay, so header, insert, right? And since it wants it to be left aligned, I'm just going to click this so that I can have, left, right, and center alignment, which is easiest for me to to choose. Hello? Okay. Left aligned. So create. I know how to type, I promise. Created by Camilla, candidate number and center number, ABs. Yeah, I do know how to spell. And let's clear the rest of this because they didn't say to put anything there. All right, that's it. We can close this. Is that all that we were meant to do? Nope. Place in the footer the automated page numbers right aligned. Okay, that's pretty simple. Essentially, we do the exact same thing, insert and then footer. And this time it says right, so we clear this out because nothing else was said. And there's a few ways you can put the footer, but the easiest way for me is, of course, you click on header and footer, and then page number. I meant to say a few ways to put page number. You can put it, there's a bunch of options here, but my easiest one is always to just click on current position because my cursor is already here, so it's easy to just, put that and choose the simplest one. And yes, sir. Okay, make sure that all alignments match the page margins. No other text placeholders. Yep, I already deleted the other stuff. And header footer is split on all pages. Yes, it is. Okay, so now we can close header and footer. Create and store the following style, basing it on the default paragraph style. Right. Okay, so styles. Styles are pretty cool. The best thing about styles is, of course, you can choose like a specific style and then apply it to all sorts of different words and content, and you won't have to continuously change every single paragraph. You just have a style that's already preset that you can create by yourself. Okay, so create a style. We click on home, and styles are right here. Okay, it's supposed to be called MS Subhead. I'm just gonna copy paste because it's easier for me to make sure I don't make a mistake. Modify. Okay, make sure, so this says to base it on the default paragraph style. Style based on normal. Sans serif. Now sans means without and serif means edge. So without edge, the easiest font to use for this is Arial, but you could also use Calibri or anything like that. Font size points 18. So we change this here to 18. Alignment, center, and then enhancement, bold and underline. So bold, underline. Single line spacing, and then the space before and space after. Now, as you can see here, there's nowhere where I can change my line spacing and how many points before or after. So we have to click on Format and then Paragraph. So with Paragraph, here you can see spacing, it says 9, and line spacing here is single. Evidence 3 is to place it in my evidence document to show that I have made this style. So, screenshot. And no worries if you've already clicked off and you forgot to take, well, that was not meant to happen. Earlier it says it's supposed to be the body style, so I'm just going to change it back to that. No worries if you've forgotten to take a screenshot. You can just click back here and you see the MS subheading that you've clicked or that you've created earlier, and then modify it, and then you're brought back to this page where you can take the screenshot again. All right, so let's place this in my evidence file, proof that I have done what they asked me to. And then it says at the start of the document, enter the title multi-sport review. Okay, so simple, copy paste, and then go to the top, enter, yes. The style name MS title has already been created and stored, so they've already created it in this document. They want me to modify it. Now, I showed you earlier how to modify, so essentially we just find it. It's right here, modify. Okay, so all right, this is the title. The title's already fine. Serif means edge. Edge, basically, the easiest font to use for that is Times New Roman. If you're not too clear on sans serif versus serif, I'm sure there are other videos that you can watch that have a more in-depth explanation. Okay, font size 18, change it here. Center alignment and bold and italic. Line spacing and space before and after. This is 9. Okay, well, good thing that you checked, or I checked. It's actually really important to check stuff like this, because when you make a mistake somewhere, it's really hard to go ahead and find it back. It's really hard to check once you're done, and it's better to check once you're still doing it. Right, place in your evidence document screenshot, right? So screenshot right here, and evidence document is right here. So this is evidence 4 for step 6. Apply the amended MS title style to the title text entered at step 5. Step 5 was this step where this is the title. So it tells me to apply this style. So simple. I'm gonna highlight it, and then we have MS title. Now locate and move the paragraph. Triathlon is an endurance contest, taking up the sport. So that appears as a new paragraph immediately after the subheading triathlon. Triathlon subheading is right here. It's very easy to identify this as a subheading because these are just like 1 or 2 words that are separated from the rest of the text. So triathlon is here. Let's go and find that paragraph. Hello? Okay, navigation. And it's, what was it again? Triathlon is an endurance contest. Here it is. Okay. So I'm gonna cut this and place it over here. Okay, very nice. Now, the next part is to change the page. I know how to speak. Change the page layout so that the subheading, general participation, and all following text is displayed in 2 columns of equal width, okay, with a 1 centimeter space between those columns, right? So subheading general participation, that's here. So I'm going to highlight this whole thing all the way to the bottom and click on layout, and then columns and more columns. So they asked for 2, so here's 2. Width, it's the same for both, but spacing is supposed to only be 1 centimeter, so I shall change that. And okay. Apply square bullets to the text form warmer winter, which is right here, to avalanche and landslides. Bullets, home, click on home, right? And it's right here, and it says square, so this one. Make sure that bullets are aligned at the left margin. Okay, let's actually do this one by one so that I don't get confused. So we're gonna click to the, you're gonna highlight this and then click on it, right click on it, paragraph. Alignment, left margin, right? List is in a single line spacing, that's that, with no space before or after each line. Change that. There is a 6-point space after the last item in the list. Okay, so that's this. But now we're gonna right click at the end here and then change this to 6 point because, well, they said after the last item, which is avalanche and landslides. There we go. Now you can see there's a space there. Identify the 5 subheadings in the document and apply MS subhead style. Okay, well, like I mentioned earlier, subheadings are fairly easy to find for the most part because they're just strings of words that are detached from the rest of the paragraph. And, you know, in this case, duathlon or triathlon would be talking about the triathlon, which is, you know, in the following paragraph. Okay. Using the data in file, new file, create a vertical bar chart to compare entries by gender for only the categories that contain duathlon and triathlon. Right. Let's open up my file. Oh, I think I closed it earlier. Oh, this is going to be very interesting trying to find it. Oh, I think I did. Okay, there we go. Compare, yes. Excel. So there's a lot of data here, and it says duathlon and triathlon. Let's expand this so that I can actually see what it's saying. And okay, there we go. So we highlight all of the content that we need to make this chart with, and it says a vertical bar chart, which is here. They want to compare, so this would be the best choice, of course, so you can see both. And then it says, display the following percentage numbers only as data labels along the top of each bar, and then a legend showing men and women. So click on this chart, yes. Oh wait, no, wait, I skipped a step. Haha, silly me. Here, I knew something was a little bit off because I didn't see anything mentioning chart title. There we go. Chart title. Okay, now we can move on. Display the following. Percentage numbers showing only data labels along the top of each bar, and then a legend showing men and women. Now, these are both kind of go hand in hand. Here we would click off axis so that there's no numbers here. And then we would click data labels, so that shows that. And then legend, pretty simple. Essentially, we click here. This is what a legend is. It labels which color is which data. And select data, right. Okay, so series 1 is the blue, and the blue in this case would be the men. So I'm going to click on this and edit, and men, yeah? And then click on this, edit, and women. So just recap, right click here, select data, and then edit the data that you need to. So format the value axis scale to display a minimum value of 0%, maximum value of 100%. Okay, so this step is a little bit confusing because earlier it says to turn off the axis, yes, this, but in order to format the axis, you'll actually have to, well, turn it back on. So I went ahead and did that, and now let's format the axis, yes, and make this a bit bigger so that we can see. So it's in decimal point. Essentially, you just click 1 because, you know, 1's 100, math. And yeah, that's it. Now I can go back here and, no, sorry, my bad, over here, and turn off axis so that we can only see the data at the top of the bar chart. Okay, is that all? I believe so. It says next step is to insert the chart after paragraph ending are more popular with women. Okay, let's copy this and go back here, and now I have to go find more popular with women. Navigation, more popular. Huh? No, where is it? Interesting. Is that not the... Oh, unpopular. So, as you can see, very important to read accurately. Okay, more unpopular with women. It says after the paragraph ending. So, we paste it here. Make sure that the chart and all data fits within the column width and all data labels are displayed in full with no overlap. So as you can see, there's no overlap here. You can see all of the data very clearly, and it's within the column. It's not coming out on the left or on the right. So that's fine. And okay, that's all. Yes? Yes, sir, that's all. Next up, to import the image, this, and place it in the paragraph beginning, the running is contested. This time I'm going to copy the line that I'm supposed to look for, and now it's easier for me to make sure that I don't make a mistake while searching. Because of course, if you have two similar sentences, you might actually put it at the wrong paragraph, which would not be very good. Running is contested. Now we import the image. So the image is over here. Copy. And it says to put it in the paragraph beginning. Yes? Crop the image to remove only the bottom third. So most of the snow below the skis, because of course this doesn't look very good. There's so much snow here and you can barely see the people. So to emphasize it. So we click on picture format and crop. And now we just estimate about a third, and you can still see the skiers, but we've removed most of the snow, so that's about right. And enter. Okay, format the cropped image so that it's resized to a width of 4 centimeters with no distortion. Right, so if you want to format a picture, left click on the picture, picture format will appear up here. So this is the width, and it's supposed to be 4 centimeters, correct? Yes, sir. Okay, make sure that it is aligned to the left of the column and the top of the paragraph starting. The running is contested. It's to the left and it's at the top, and the text wraps around the image. So I'm going to change this here so that I can, yes, there, and adjust it a little, but it looks fine to me. Yep, it's wrapped around the image. It looks very good and professional, so that's correct. Okay, that's all. Now, oh, we're at the last step already. So spell check and proofread the document. Make sure that the list and the chart are not split over columns or pages, which means the chart and the list, they're all, on the same page, and it's not distorted, and you can easily see it. There are no widows or orphans. Widows or orphans are stuff like this. You see how the subheading is here, but then the entire paragraph is on a different page. So in this case, I would have to enter, and now they're all on the same page. Right. There are no blank pages. Nothing here. And styles are applied consistently. Everything looks the same. Every style is the same. This and this are the exact same, and the rest of the body paragraph is also the same, so that's fine. And no changes have been made to MS body style. I didn't click on that, so we're okay. Spacing is consistent between all items. Yep, looks fine to me. There's no gigantic gap between two lines. Everything's fine. And now we save the document using the same file name and format. Right. One thing is, for me, my computer has this where on the last page, the columns are actually not the same size. On some people's, it might be default like that, but in my case, it's not. So I'm actually going to click enter here so that it's more on the same alignment. It's not really weird where you have one super long column and one very short one. So this looks a little bit more professional. I'm trying to imagine, if I saw this on as a leaflet, what would I think of it? And this definitely looks better. Although this doesn't look right because there's a line there. So a little bit of editing might be required, but that's fine. There we go. That's much better. Now it's the same size and stuff. Okay, so last but not least, we click on review and spelling and grammar. Okay, however, multisport, sure, just to your own knowledge or whatever word says is correct. And now we save the document with the same file name and format, so used in step 2. So this is essentially just keep it the exact same and update it because, you've already changed the format and the file name. And now we've got to print it out because we're done with the data production. Data production part. Okay, that is all. Thank you very, very much. And assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope you find this useful. And yeah, thank you.